Here we are playing ping pong, and Zarna has told me now her rate has gone up because...
Yeah, because the action was not included in this contract. I'm sorry.
That's not what I thought you meant by action, so that's
yeah, no, this is action. Hello, I don't get to just sit and talk. This, oh my God, my arm, so much work.
Yeah, this is a lot of work.
Bring some Vicks, bring some Bengay, somebody massage my shoulder. Where are all the people?
I feel like Vicks is our, like in my big fat Greek wedding where it was Windex, it's
Vicks
for us.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, people love using Vicks for pretty much anything.
That, of course, my kids too. They're like, I broke my arm, I'm like, Vicks.
Yeah, that's all. Start with that at least.
Yeah.
Start with that.
I have doctors in the family, so basically I'm a doctor.
Oh yeah, it rubs off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. My wife's a pharmacist. It just
a pharmacist. She knows more than the doctor. That's actually for real. She knows.
It does. People will trust a pharmacist with medicine, of course.
Yeah, of course. They know what's happening.
That's ultimately what you need a doctor for, is just to give you the drug.
Yeah.
So why not just cut right to the chase? You know, one thing that I found interesting is I hosted a show that I think you actually watched, which was called Desi Chain.
Yes.
And you know what it was, for the people who are tuning in, I do have to explain this. So what it was on Facebook. It was kind of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It was a way of connecting our community to see, like, if you know this person, do you know that person? Can you bring them into the Zoom? And it started in the Jewish community. They brought it to the Desi community. It's still going strong in the Jewish community. Didn't quite take off in our community, and I think there were some reasons for it. So that was one thing we started discussing, you and I, which was, one of the things was, I was like, I'm really big on inclusion, right? That's a big thing. I wanted to make sure we had not just straight, we had LGBTQIA, not just the traditional Hindu. I wanted to make sure we had Muslim and Christian and atheist and everything else, and age and everything. Every single barrier was a barrier, but we kind of got over a lot of it. The one that we did not really pierce was, and I use these terms affectionately, the ABCD FOB divide. We had a hard time getting from people born in this country, American-born confused Desis, and then fresh off the boat, people who were born in India and came here. Why is that?
Because you and I both know the divide exists. Can we not pretend it doesn't exist?
And this is the first I realized that it does.
100% it exists, and I do happen to have one foot in both sides, because I was born and raised in India. I'm as immigrant, like literally, like with the papers, cross the border and all of that, as an almost adult. So I get it, and then the ABCDs have their own view, and I've been friends with. I came here at 16, so college, law school, a lot of defining experiences.
10 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But the divide is real, you know that.
It is.
Yeah.
But what I find interesting is not only that it's real, but also that like when you go to a party, and if there are people who are born and brought up in India, born and brought up here, it will kind of segment out into two different groups.
Yeah, it's true. And I get it, like, both sides have a chip on their shoulder about something.
What is the chip on the shoulder for the people born and brought up in India?
I mean, I'll tell you, because like as a mother, I'm very fobby.
Okay.
And I
think that's
the
basic. That's your persona.
Right. And it's real, and it's inside, like how I feel. I'm like, I think the ABCDs complain too much. Relative to their immigrant parents, have had it easier. Now, yes, I understand the other side of it, because what the ABCDs complain about is that no parent of theirs takes their life seriously and takes their complaints seriously, and there is truth to that. Mm-hmm. We, as an immigrant, I'd be like, whatever, she doesn't like you, get over it. Mm-hmm. We don't understand a world of where, like, I need therapy and all that. Like, that's taboo in our culture.
And it still is.
Completely. I have members of my own family that are therapists, and I'm like, that's not a real job.
What do you suggest that they do? Just get over it?
Well, listen, think of what a brutal world you come from if you leave everything behind to make a new life. Like, we had to get over everything.
Sure.
There's no therapy for us. We just came and we were like, okay, I haven't really seen my mom in 20 years. Okay, fine, whatever, that's life. It has happened. This is reality for a lot of immigrants.
It is, but I don't think everybody dealt with it as well as they probably
Oh
should
no,
have.
neither did I. Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of drugs in my life and my
Yeah, I was going to say, so
bloodstream,
it came out somehow.
No, yes, but we weren't debilitated by it. We weren't sitting there going like life is so unfair.
But do you think, okay, but in fairness though, comedians and people who are going to complain about that for comedic effect, right, are exaggerating it, right? As far as in real life, actual ABCDs, I'm not debilitated by it.
I think you may not be, but
and most of my friends are not.
We see a lot. Oh, maybe it's just a conversation thing. Maybe it's just something people like to talk about and bond about.
Right.
My mom made me, easy to pick on your mom and dad, right? It's easy. But I'm telling you that the Forbes will tell you if they could.
Please,
this generation is too whiny. They've had it. We've given them everything. I'm not saying they're right.
But do you think that's a generational thing, or you think it's a immigrant thing? Like you came from one country to another?
I think it's an immigrant thing. I think if you came here, you left everything and came here. Presumably, that's how immigrants usually get here. The pain is deep.
Of course.
And we don't deal with our own pain at all, right? Because we don't believe in therapy or anything. At least I believe in drugs, so I'm very fixed now. But
fixed and then broken.
Yeah, this has been very fixed up. But you know what I mean? So we don't deal with our own pain, and then we don't know what to do when our kids express that some kind of pain.
Right.
It's a different pain, but a pain nonetheless. So we think, well, I powered through 30 years of being miserable. What's your issue?
But we don't want to be miserable.
That's the thing, and that's where being American comes in. You don't want to be miserable and sacrifice.
But why should we be miserable?
But listen, an Indian person will tell you life by definition is misery.
But I don't think it is.
But there you go. Now
it's
you
not
see
a struggle.
The great divide in play right here.
It's not. It's not supposed to be. I think that it is for some people, but isn't that karam? Isn't that the whole idea of like if you have the resources to? This is what a friend of mine once said about Eminem. She goes, "What's the deal? This guy has $200 million. He can't go to therapy. He still has to bitch and claim." And of course that's his persona, is to be angry. But at a certain level, you go, I have people in my life who are miserable, and I'm like, you have capability though. You're empowered. You make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You can't take a day off and go you don't have to go to a therapist, but you can't meditate or go to the beach or just chill the F out. Like, what's wrong with you? And they think they're dealing with it, but they're not. They're making everybody else miserable.
But they're okay with it.
But that they shouldn't be okay with it.
See, this is the thing. I mean, listen, not a single Indian mother did comedy, and they were like, okay, we don't laugh. As a people, we don't laugh.
Do you find that's true?
Yes.
Okay, so because when I
tell them you are in here, you laugh for free. Now you already paid the ticket. The laugh is free.
You may as well laugh.
Relax. And they're like, oh. Like you see them recoiling, they're like, oh, yeah, okay. They're thinking about it.
They're thinking about whether they should laugh. Is that unique to Indians?
I think so.
To South Asians, whatever you want to call us?
I think so. I think our culture is actually afraid to laugh.
Why is that?
So much guilt. There's so much baggage. Like if you're happy,
but every
something's
culture
wrong.
has guilt and baggage. Catholics have more guilt than anybody.
Yeah, but they drink. So then they're like, fine, okay, we have a good day, mate. Like, what's a good day in the Indian culture?
What's a good day?
Yeah, like your parents having a good day. Like, I'm sure it's not including like mom and dad going to the pub.
No, of course it's not.
If you're gonna sit
but that's their problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like culturally,
they should come to the comedy club and laugh. That's where we can agree. Totally. That's where we can totally agree.
Exactly. So it's a thing, and
I just think that there's this whole idea of people thinking that they're handling stuff, and this isn't just Indians. This is in general. People have this thing where
I need to win some points here.
Okay, if you want to keep track. I mean, trust me, no one wants to keep track against me.
Okay, I am gonna keep track. Everything is tracked. See that? Oh, I'm not gonna keep track. You see what he just did?
That's what I'm showing you why you don't want to. So
I take you down now, bitch. And I can also talk like this.
That's how you know we're having a good discussion. Because if I start losing the discussion, I just start winning at ping pong. I'm like, all right, the hell with this.
See that?
See this? Yeah, that's exactly
okay.
Yeah,
now we're going to play my way. Okay,
I
will hit the ball from here.
That's cheating. Oh, I see. I was like, how do we cheat? Oh, okay.
And
we don't even need the table. We don't even need the table.
Okay, that is the point. Don't you guys come at me with the rules that I make the rules.
Hey, if you like that, there's more. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content.